rough day today, guys, but most of them are. Today, I actually wanted to talk about something that I was thinking about at the gym. Yesterday, I usually go to the gym on most days. Well, that's not really true. It's more like a Tuesday to Thursday sort of deal, and then sometimes Sundays. I say sometimes Sundays because I used to go pretty frequently on Sundays, and then I stopped going on Sundays because of The Walking Dead. Yeah, but I guess I could probably still like go. Just earlier on in the day, sorry about that. It's the Pepsi. And the fact that I just ate like another half of one of those Togo sandwiches. Trying this new one that they had, something about California Club or something. I don't know why they always, like, anytime they sell something with California in it, it's always got to have avocados for some reason. Like, if California is known for their avocados, are they? I don't know. I've lived here my whole life, most of my whole life, and I don't know if they're famous for avocados or not, but in any case, I just ate another half of that, so I'm a little gassy, so I apologize in advance for that. But no, I was thinking as I was working out yesterday, and basically just getting ready to wind down, about why people like hold on to music. And I'm going to have to explain myself a little bit better, because obviously you can't like read my mind. Sometimes when I've had conversations with older people, they always talk about music from a certain period, and maybe you know where I'm going with this, but how that music was like the best that's ever made, and modern music is weird and sometimes not good. And I've been hearing that like my whole life. And then as I was working out yesterday, I was thinking about how the reason why that happens is because I guess we just tend to stick with the music that we listened to during our formative years, maybe like from prepubescent to young adult. So that's like the best music, and it has a lot to do with memories. We associate music with memories. I think that's a given. Gotta be some science to back that up. Anytime we hear a song, maybe we don't exactly think, well, we think about the lyrics. But what I'm trying to say is that the first thing that usually comes into our mind is not the lyrics, but maybe where we were, what we were doing, or who we were doing it with. Like memories is the first thing that comes to mind, and then music and lyrics and all that sort of stuff. And so during our formative years, that's the music that has the most influence on us. And as we get older, circumstances change, things get in the way, and that time, all that free time that we usually dedicated to listening to music goes away. You just don't have it anymore. Because, like I said, the situation changes, things change, and you just don't have that time to listen to music. So when you disconnect yourself, even for like a little while, when you like start listening back to what's playing, well, you've been out of the game for a while, and what's new may sound odd and scary, and that jump was way dramatic back in the day, because the styles were way dramatic back in the day, from 60s to 70s, and then from 70s to 80s. All the people who had their formative years during those periods, they can tell you that the music was different. And even in the 90s, as it started to become more uniform and everybody wanted to sound like a particular artist, there's still like a big jump, So I kind of understand why people hold on to music and say, okay, this was the best, and they are always listening maybe to the same tracks. That's because they're good. There's no doubt about it that they are good. It's just maybe because that's the music that they made their fondest memories with. So that's something that I just want to avoid altogether. I don't ever want to get stuck. So one of the things that I've been taking advantage of is two things. Spotify, the application for most iOS and Android phones, in case you don't know what Spotify is a music application for streaming music, with subscriptions and the like. And they have this neat feature where it will keep track of what you listen to, and it will tell you, or formulate rather, not so much tell you, but it will make a playlist for you on similar artists. And I don't know what kind of algorithmic juju they use, because their suggestions are just right on. It's new music from artists which maybe you've never heard before, but it just works. So that's one of the things Spotify definitely has going on for them. I use that. Google has their own music streaming service, and I've been trying that out for a month. It's been maybe 2 weeks since I've been trying that out, and it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I like it so far. I like the fact that I can listen to YouTube and have my screen off. It sounds like such a small thing, but that little small thing makes a big difference. So the music that we listen to forms us, it changes us. And one of the things that I try to do is just always look for different stuff, not necessarily new, because there's a lot of stuff that I missed out on. I'm telling you that much right now. I'm no connoisseur by any means. If anything, I might be one of those people who are just always late to the party. But hey, I get there, But I don't want to get stuck at some point and say, oh, this band from my time, that was the best. Because what time? Such a thing, I don't think that even exists anymore. There is no my time anymore. Not with the way music works nowadays, where you have access to everything, to all the music, is right there at your fingertips. During, when was it? Tuesday. On Tuesday, I was having this conversation with this older fellow, and there was some music blasting from a nearby house, and I made a small remark about the music, and the first thing that came from his mouth after I made that remark was, that music is not from your time. And I didn't find that odd in the slightest bit. It just made me smile a little bit, because that's how most people think. They think, oh, music has a time, and if you weren't born in it, then you shouldn't listen to it. But I don't think that's right at all. I mean, the whole point we record music is so that we can share it with the people who are coming, the younger generations. If we don't share the music, then why record it at all? We have to share, and I have a responsibility to do so. I mean, I'm an older brother, I have a younger sister, and I gotta make sure she comes up right in the world. And one of the ways that I can do that is guiding her. I won't be able to make choices for her. She's going to like stuff that I just won't like at all. But there's universal stuff that I know she will like. But I have to do my part. She's got to be educated. Because if I don't do that, then she's gonna be like those. Well, the people I'm talking about. People who don't know anything. give you one example. Maybe a year or two ago, I'm having this conversation with one of my closer friends. And, to this day, I don't know why we're friends, because we have almost nothing in common. But we're having this conversation, and I told her about Queen. We were talking about music, and out of nowhere, the band Queen came up. Maybe I think a track from theirs played, like while we were talking, and I made a comment about Queen or whatever. And she said, "What's Queen?" I'm gonna let that sink in. That's what she asked. She's like, "Who is Queen?" And I'm like, I understand that, you know, they weren't a gigantic band. It's not like they were the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. But still, man, it's Queen, you know. They had an impact in culture. But she had absolutely no idea who I was talking about. And it didn't make me sad or anything. It just kind of proved my point that there's a generation that is lost in touch. And that's more of a culture thing, really. Like, I don't want to get into that in this video. But I've had several instances where people ask about music, and all I can think of is, how do you not know? Like, how do you not know? And okay, I get it. You know, maybe that particular genre is not your cup of tea. But that's why I always tell people to expand their horizons. And it's not easy. I get that, especially like with music we grew up with. But hey, you never know, you might like it. So that's what I was thinking about yesterday while I was working out, is how we get stuck in music, and how music is like a part of our collective memory, you know. And it's easy to get along with people who like the same music you do, because in a way, I guess your personalities are similar. Musical tastes are so weird, because they can be so open. I know people who look like they know a lot of things and they don't, and I know the people who surprise you with what they do know. Again, it's because of how open you're willing to be. And something that I've always want to do is just always look for new tracks, always look for new artists. And if you're one of those people that say, "Oh, but they don't sound the same," I think there are artists that do sound the same. They make new content that purposely sounds old, you know, because of the same, because they are to a certain point stuck with the sound, or maybe they want to continue to hear the sound, and it doesn't come up as much as it should. So I know, you know, today's topic was just like a little like random and maybe not well articulated, but it's something that I was always thinking about. And honestly, like, I've only met a few individuals throughout the majority of my life who had the same musical inclinations that I've had. For the most part, I've been a solo act in that, and the majority of my other friends are just like wildly different stuff. And I won't lie, a lot of the stuff that they like, I just can't tolerate. And again, it's a culture thing, you know. It's not that the music was bad, it's just that it'd be very odd for me to like it, seeing as how I am from one place and they're from another place. I was raised in a certain manner. They were raised in their own manner. Oh man, dang California roll. But yeah, sometimes I think about some of my favorite artists, and I think, well, maybe there's other people that sound like them, like making music right now that sound like them, and that's not gonna always be the case. I mean, are there people right now that sound like the Beatles? Maybe. I mean, they won't have that charm, that flash, but I'm sure that if we look, they're gonna be out there, because that's one thing we have as a species is we love to imitate. You know, we're imitators in everything, and when there's something we like, we imitate it, we copy it, we never let it rest. Anyway, I'm home now, so today's topic was a little bit odd. I had a few ideas, like just jumping up and down, but this one was the one that was the most coherent. And tomorrow, we'll see. We'll see about tomorrow. Anyway, take care, kids.